The essay and the topic of discussion that I would like to talk to you about is the means of production and consumption, where there's a complete dissolvement or intermixing of boundaries between who is a buyer and who is a seller, what is work and what is leisure, bars, and all things consumerism and digital technology related. My experience that really sticks with me and fuels like my art and my writing and stuff like that is being working class and growing up in like a dysfunctional household while also being an intellectual, which gives me just this sense of like internal conflict, and also that has driven me to be like an investigator type, like archetype of thinking, always investigating, trying to find patterns and clues and synchronicities and stuff like that. So I'm gonna just say the introduction of this essay and you know what I'm talking about. Advances in digital technology have attributed to metamorphosing of boundaries between production and consumption, and how much of our experience as a human is becoming profitable. There's not one single part of us that cannot be generated into profit, whether it's insecurities in our beauty or fucking fears and desires that play out into like what we engage with online. A lot of it is based on the internet, basically. What we engage with online, the algorithm feeds it back to us, and we're obviously behaving out of our fears and desires. A lot of the time, most of the time, even if you spend an hour on Instagram, it seems like it's your leisure time and your downtime, but it's just not. There's no way you can scroll on Instagram or, you know, go on the internet without paying someone. Like, even if you're not taking that money out of your pocket, your attention is being generated into profit, and your fears and desires are being generated into profit for someone. And it's like completely profiting off of the human brain, the human psyche, things that have been around since like fucking, if you want to believe in it, Adam and Eve. The whole temptation and, you know, deliverance from evil and whatever. That I think there's a similarity between how much fear and desire has been made into profit or power when it comes to human interference with religion, and also conditioning in modern day society. But then again, we're told what to fear and what to desire, quick validating and quick hits of dopamine and stuff like that. And then we naturally give in to those impulses, and then that is used against us in order for someone, I don't know, whoever told us that, you know, there's this whole complex around those things, to gain and profit and exploit and control. I hope this makes sense. I always feel like I don't make sense, but yeah. The essay kind of starts with the introduction of the machine and the whole swap between machine and human, or objects and human. And it's weird because we're told what rules there are about objects of desire and objects of fear, and in turn it kind of objectifies the human and personifies the instrument, because I'll get onto it anyway. So this is more to do with work and production, not so much consumption. But yeah, the machine is very heavily influenced by humans and their capabilities and their functions, and their, you know, their physics and their The machine is personified and human is left as its feeder. So we just give in to the machine. We've kind of swapped roles of we used to use instrument to make things, and now the instrument is this big mother monster thing that we, you know, turn on and feed and upkeep. This mechanical monster, whose body fills whole factories, which is a quote from Karl Marx, was employed in the assembly line of capitalism with purpose to produce merchandise in speeds and qualities that the working class body could not sustain. So capitalism and consumerism, and even pop culture and media economy and attention economy wants money to be moved in ways that are humanly impossible, at speeds which are faster than humanly possible. Even if you just think about it simply, like when you go to the shops, say if we were using cash, it would take, you know, maybe 2 minutes for us, or maybe a minute and a half, whatever, for us to go in our purse, get the money out, give it to them, they count it, they get the change, they give it back to us. Whereas now it's literally just a tap on the phone. It takes about 5 seconds. It's quicker than what is humanly possible. And with the advances of digital technology, on the computer. I imagine it like in Willy Wonka when he does a thing on the computer and then it goes up to the sky and then it moves like this and then it goes like that. This is moving money at speeds which is faster than humanly possible, like, and that is what capitalism favours. But also it promotes a really unhealthy lifestyle because we will be consuming and indulging at rates which are not really natural. Like, there's more clothes are being bought at faster paces and food is being made at faster paces and all the fast industries. Like, it's just not natural, and that's like really unhealthy for us. The factory machine was a catalyst for what Marx predicted as, by the way, this essay I wrote on here, oh shit, I didn't even finish the fucking introduction. Highlighting ways in which leisure and work are intermixed, as well as the growth of profit through human experience. This essay aims to investigate unpaid labour, digital labour, and the attention economy through Marxist philosophers and contemporary artworks. The factory machine was a catalyst for what Marx predicted as the means of labour passing through different metamorphoses. So yeah, while some jobs have been long obsolete due to technological advances throughout the 18th to 21st century, more recent digital takeovers are still in the process. Self-service technology is increasingly reducing the need for till operators, leaving physical cashiers as conscious linkages to digital technology. And it's that same object and human kind of swap over. So yeah, tasks that human were once employed and paid for are now responsibilities of the digital machine. It could also be argued that with the likes of self-service checkout, a large fraction of the workload is handed over to the customer. This form of unpaid work is defined as consumption labour. So yeah, basically production and work is creeping into our consumption time. Like, if you go use self-checkouts, you're basically doing something that someone used to be paid for, but obviously with the help of digital technology. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there and then I'm going to carry on the rest tomorrow. Right, so last time we spoke about the machine and stuff and humans and machines swapping roles, or us passing on job roles to digital technology and jobs even going obsolete because of digital technology. The action of buying and selling is becoming non-human. As of July 2020, 58% of customer interactions were digital. As links between digital advances and digression in social skills can be made, it's so true that Wall-E is becoming true. Like, no social skills. We all just sit on our screens and don't talk to each other. It actually makes me feel fucking sick how out of touch people are nowadays. But but then also, like, technology, you got to move with it. So maybe iPad kids are onto something. Maybe the parents of iPad kids are onto something, because maybe in the future, like, all of the jobs will be digital. There's clear distinctions between growing up on a phone and having mental health issues. There's kids that, like, can't talk yet, but they know how to work a phone. So their brain understands the just the cognitive behaviours and the steps that go into pressing a button and getting something done. And your brain can also, say if you scroll on Instagram, you're going to get a dopamine hit. Imagine these kids, before they're even talking, they're doing all this shit and their brain is pathologically being created depending on that really quick, short, easy, no time, skills, effort is put into anything that they do. They're developing all these pathological behaviours, short attention span, short memory, no confidence, no social skills, can't understand social cues, depression, anxiety, all this stuff. Obviously, the content that we see on our phones and our screens and stuff, it's all fucking, like, money-minded. Like, even going on Instagram, even people posting selfies is actually a bizarre concept. Like it's just microdosing sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Do you know what I mean? Maybe not rock and roll because it's not actually that cultured, but all based on sex. S-E-X, sex. Yeah, so the content that we're seeing online through digital technology is fucked. It's not good for us. We shouldn't see this many people in a lifetime. We shouldn't see such, I guess, perfect things or good-looking people, or, do you know what I mean? Things that, I don't know, because humans naturally are nosy because we have to have our guard up. Yeah, so naturally we are nosy, but I feel like we've always been presented in the media with things that are, like, amazing, bigger, better, expensive, lovely. Even from the 1950s on TV, it's like, get these cigarettes and you'll lose weight, or, I don't know, get this washing machine and your husband will love you more, and all that shit. Like, we're conditioned to whatever we see in media on the TV is very perfect and lovely and picture perfect. So it's no wonder that on social media, even if you see a selfie of someone who's probably living the exact same lifestyle as you, comparing yourself to others, that's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, that's not good for you, obviously. And also, it's just really fake. And there's so much stupid shit online. It's like, whole kind of Love Island-esque side of media and TV is just absolutely brain rotting the fuck out of the children. And it's messed up. But I think, obviously, it's not all doom and gloom. Like, there's obviously good things that come from it. And it's all tailored to what you look for and what you know, like, the majority is taught to follow a general consensus, I guess. But even if everyone stopped, not to blame it on the people, obviously, but even if consumerism, capitalism, and all this stuff stopped promoting all this shit, brain-rotting shit, and everyone loved themselves and was self-sustainable and was really smart and, you know, innovative and we'd all be the same anyway. Do you know what I mean? Everyone would be the same. It would just be another majority of, you know, the general consensus. So I don't know, just give and take, really. Give it a pinch of salt and all that fucking stuff. But yeah, so links between social skills digressing and digital advances can be made. But paradoxically, digital technology and the internet brings like a collective consciousness into one virtual place. Like, it's weird how there's not a lot of boundaries between our brain and social media. Like, memes used to be writing and then text, and it used to be, I guess, niche. I don't know how to explain it, but now we will just see icons or symbols of things that remind us of concepts, and then you get two of them together and then it just makes you laugh because it's two bizarre concepts in your head that you never thought you'd see together. Memes are very liminal and weird. They were very literal, I guess, and very bog standard at the start. But now it's like, instead of having to read words and then read an image, you just see a symbol or icon of something, and the connotations of like a mind map of the theme and connotations of this thing are in your head, and then they mix it with something else. Like, you don't even have to read memes anymore. Like, you just have to have a connotation with a certain imagery or symbol or theme, you know? And it's like a collective consciousness. Like, you know that whole narrative of I've never had a personal experience or an original thought? Like, bro, it's literally like one big brain that we all share. Like, it's Black Mirror-esque, you know? So yeah, paradoxically, it's like a collective consciousness. Information spreads at unnatural speeds, similar to that meme thing. Like, we don't have to read memes anymore. It's just icons and imagery and stuff like that. And it's so it gets deep into our brains so quickly, you know, information. Or it brings forth deep parts of our brains so quickly. But yeah, and then I just go on to talk about working from home, but. I mean, yeah, basically, more recently, working from home, that's bizarre. That's a very new concept, working from home and all these remote jobs, which I think is generally good. But at the end of the day, it only benefits capitalism and consumerism because money is moving at speeds and rates which are inhumanely possible, and information is spreading at speeds and rates which, without digital technology, just wouldn't be able to happen. So it's just more money, more work, more you know, clogs in the fucking machine of capitalism. But also we're in a burnout nation where, bruv, if you're working from home, like, your house is your office, your work and home life are just intermixed in so many different ways, and like, you don't have that clear boundary of, you know, yourself, your weekend self and your weekday self. But I don't know, maybe it benefits some people. This dissembling of work-home distinction is involving the employee's whole life experience in the means of production, regardless of what sector they're in. The absolute engulfing of the labourer's home life contributes to the rise of immaterial labour in the digital age. Influencer culture is something that really, really, I'm so passionate about, and I feel like there are people that talk about it, definitely, but there's not enough professional talk about it, philosophical discussion on it. Classic ways of advertising online, like sponsored search engine results, are easily comprehended as adverts, whereas more covert or dressed up or glamorous marketing techniques like #gifted or #ad posts by influencers and macro celebrities trick their way into people's leisure time and affections, playing on desires and superficial interests, which capitalism has been teaching for decades now. Capitalism loves to feed on fear and desires, which started in the 1900s with promises of a better life when buying certain products, or, you know, like what I said about use this washing machine and your husband will love you, or buy these dresses and you'll look slimmer and all this stuff, this whole, like, you know, you feel insecure about this. I have a solution for you. Come and get this, you know? Yeah, so it cunningly accesses an intimate yet universal part of the human experience, insecurity and indulgence. The capitalist subject is a subject who never has enough and continuously seeks more and more and more. See, we're presented with all of these things that we're told to fear and desire, all these quick fixes, superficial fixes. It's not sustainable growth like physical health, better mental health, teaching your kids good morals. Like, we're not really, why is that not plastered everywhere and fed into every single thing that we see? Because they are true endorphin inducing, dopamine inducing, like happiness, live, laugh, love, fucking things that we should aspire to do. We should aspire to be really good people with good health and good people around us, and like be creative and, you know, have original ideas and have good morals and stuff like that. But we're taught to want to look good. We're taught to give in to a really temporary, fake, not really fulfilling, unfulfilling aspect of our selves, which is like indulgence and insecurity, instead of long-term fulfilling aspects of being human. It's so weird. We're given like these quick fixes, like fucking McDonald's. Yeah, it tastes nice, but it gives you really weird fucking chemicals. Like, insecurities are easy to profit from because humans are always subject to indulgence. We're always subject to indulgence and insecurity and fear and desire and all that shit. Seeking bigger, better and brighter in the name of consumerism. Today, this looks like Photoshop Love Island contestants selling weight loss supplements, hair growth pills and solutions to things that we've been taught to feel insecure about, which is a tail-old trick of creating a problem and selling a solution. Digital technology has definitely amplified the big industry's access to these, you know, desires and, fake desires, taught desires. It's not actually something that you should really worry about. With the invasive tailoring of advertisements and financially generatable content found in our online experience. So it's not even like we're all watching the same, you know, TV channels, channel 1, 2, 3, and it's all the same adverts for things that you might not necessarily need, but it's, you know, worldwide fucking promoted. Like, nowadays, we're given adverts for things that are actually tailored to us based on our digital activity. So the more that you kind of, I guess, use your personality online, and not in terms of posting, but in terms of liking the things that you like and disliking the things that you dislike and following people that you want to follow, your algorithm will tailor adverts for you. But that means it's really tailored to your personal insecurities. Like, it's so deep in your psyche that, like, what the fuck? Every intricate detail of our behaviour patterns are presented to us in the algorithm, making every inch of our bodies and psyche generatable into profit. So it's like, it's literally taking the things that you're insecure about or you desire or you've been taught to be insecure about or desire by them, and it's generating it into fucking profit. Imagine the fact that you think that you, I don't know, are too pale or too fat or you don't have enough, you know, new trendy clothes. You obviously act out of those behaviours. Sorry, I should just say a subject because I don't want to make it personal. Obviously, not you. A subject, yeah, will act out of those behaviours. And then the internet feeds back solutions to these issues. So, like, the algorithm will give you, I don't know, fashion influencers with trendy new clothes, or people that are selling fucking workout schemes, or people that are being paid, sponsored and gifted to do workout schemes, or fake tan, or whatever you feel insecure about. So literally your insecurities are generated into profit. Like, I don't know whether to call it like an energy economy or like an insecurity economy, but there's a whole sector of, or I guess foundation, which is part of finance, which uses insecurities to make money. Like, and that's like a lot of the fucking world. And this kind of system of the, I guess, let's say the power, telling people, you know, you're not good enough, you da-da-da, and then the person feels not good enough, and then they say, oh, you want to feel better? Here, buy this. It's the same thing as, like, fucking, you know what I mean, unethical, like, colonization or grave robbing or whatever. You get someone in a position where they're insecure or vulnerable or whatever, and then you take from that, and then fucking, like, I don't know how to say it, like, fucking Africa as a continent has, like, or maybe the Middle East, I don't know, has like the most amount of resources, like oil and fucking different types of metal and all this shit, or things that can be extracted for making a lot to do with like industrialization. Like, we fucking colonized half the world and exploited them. I'm talking about the British Empire. And also, I'm not saying that the British Empire ruined the world, because there was the Ottoman Empire, Roman Empire. Like, I feel like if it wasn't for the British Empire, someone else would have done it in a very, I say that very loosely, because the scale of which and and how much long-term effects there was from it is way different to like the Roman Empire or the Ottoman Empire. But even still, like, the UK and the US is like, you know, funding the Middle East, giving them guns and shit and giving them bombs, and then perpetuating war in the Middle East. And then it's like, they shouldn't be called third world countries, because because they're just exploited countries. Do you know what I mean? They're not underdeveloped. This same instance of scaring people or stealing from people or conditioning people and then selling them a solution, or using that, maybe not selling a solution all the time, but using that insecurity that you perpetuated to then profit, power, money, whatever, is evident in like this whole colonization thing, and is also apparent in like even the fucking beauty industry, internet. Like, it's the same mechanism that keeps being perpetuated from the people at the very, very top. Like, and even with I always bring it back to Adam and Eve, I don't know why, but certain religions, it's like, oh, you should be scared of lust and desire and sex before marriage, and there's all these rules, and then you're suddenly watching yourself, you feel insecure, da da da. But so then you subscribe to, you know, a certain fucking regime. I feel like that's very human interfered. Like, it's not divinity, because divinity is, you know, within reason, love and light and self-respect and doing things in goodwill, like genuine, no deceit. Like, the only thing that is real is things that are done in good, in goodwill, you know, God's will, if you want to say, to teach, to share, to all this shit. Like, it's human experience, the way that we should be doing it, you know, learning. And that same mechanism is apparent everywhere I fucking look, and I love to talk about it. So yeah, the tail-old trick of creating a problem and selling a solution. The clever, back to influencing, the clever trick of this advertisement / digital marketing hybrid is that it seems like it's less money-minded and machine-minded. So it's not like, you know, TV adverts or fucking billboard. It's like a person online that you think you're having a good connection with, or you're really, or you're just being a fan, or da da da. But you are feeding into so many people's pockets, their pocket, fucking, which is fair enough, like, everyone's got to get money, but then it's like, the whole influencer, #ad, #gifted, or influencers that give into trends like fucking Stanley Cups, and just the very sensationalized kind of capitalist consumerists, keeping up with trends, doing brand deals, going on holidays because they gave you a free holiday, and then you're promoting a whole country, or going to a restaurant, like anything that's like sponsored or gifted, or, you know, what, for lack of a better term, people that are sellouts. Followers and subscribers think that they're just being a fan of someone, and they're enjoying this person's content, or when I say content like that, because content is like the most dressed up, glamorous way of advertising. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Content creation isn't creative, and I'm saying that as someone who makes content online. I also make art, and I do all this shit. I would never put my TikTok down as creative. That is my social media. That is like, it's not creative at all. And you could say there are artistic ways to use social media and stuff like that, but all in all, these influencers and, you know, human fucking adverts, it's disguised as something that is creative or personal, or, you know, not so corporate, but it is the most corporate thing ever, because the disguise makes it so much more cunning and fucking intrusive. So yeah, it tricks, in the era of YouTube stars, this tricks the viewer into thinking they're having a genuine experience of another human being, or connection with another human being. In a more romantic sense, the subject believes they are carrying out just the behaviour of being a fanatic or a fan. This Black Mirror reminiscent link between psychological intimates and profitable data value is the epitome of technology turning downtime into money. which is mixed in, because watching fucking YouTubers, and I mean I'm saying this on YouTube, but I'm not I don't know how to explain it. This is more educational for me. But when I think of influencers, I think of like Love Islanders and fucking Emma Chamberlain, and people that are do brand deals and shit, and you know, influence people to buy things, you know, things that are money minded, or food, not food, sorry, appearance, very appearance minded. But yeah, it's like Avon on steroids. Do you know what I mean? People who don't teach or share art, or you know, do good for society. People that are just, you know, famous to be famous, jesters in a sense. Like this whole, I like recently thinking about it in a way of say there's people at the top. Say Mr. fucking. There's like 10 people that own. I mean, I'm just saying this loosely, just to paint a picture. But there's like 10 people at the top, and they own 6 companies, and these 6 companies own all the food industry, all the media industry, all the, you know, all this shit, fashion industry, da da da. These 10 people, we don't know them, we've never seen them, we never will see them. They are rich beyond, like, you know, and they are powerful beyond comprehension. They can buy out whole newspapers and silence them. Like people who own fucking Shell and all the oil and gas companies, they can buy out a newspaper into not, you know, saying this person is making £50 trillion a year off of, you know, oil and gas and not paying taxes and da da da. They can buy out lawyers, they can buy out whole fucking institutions, they can stop things from being televised. You know, it sounds very conspiratorial now, but these are the real rich people, the real rich. And then you get celebrities like fucking Will Smith and Margot Robbie. They're just actors, and they're, you know, they are rich. They are incredibly rich and wealthy and famous, but they are jesters because they entertain us down at the bottom, and they trick us into thinking that they're the rich, while it's actually distracting us from these guys at the top. So, I mean, actors is a probably not the right people to use for it, but fucking jesters, like shit celebrities like fucking Addison Rae and Charlie D'Amelio, they are jesters because they're kind of distractions. They don't teach or share or whatever. They're money machines. They are, you know. So yeah, I like that whole depiction of society. So when I talk about influencers, I don't speak about, it's very hard because you can be creative with it and you can teach people with it. But when I say influencers and micro celebrities, I mean people who don't bring anything to the table. It's just people that got famous, you know? For the future of consumption and production, more intimate and unique aspects of human existence are becoming profitable through digital technology. Like, there's not an ounce of your body that is not profitable, an ounce of your day that isn't profitable. Like, there's this whole thing of, can you escape being products for someone or working for someone? Like, there's all this unpaid labor, like even just following these like influencers and stuff like that, you are, you know, paying into the pockets of people that you don't even know, you don't even, you know, realize. We don't realize. So yeah, like, is there a way to avoid being profit for someone? The infiltration of commercial personalization leaves no part of the human mind unheard or unseen. There's not a lot that we can keep to ourselves nowadays. Like, just because the algorithm and the whole, you know, whatever you do on your phone, it comes back to you. That is just, there's no privacy. You're always going to be, you know, commodified in some way. Synonymous with the advances of technology, such as AI, this revolution of new boundaries, or a lack thereof, poses questions of a digital renaissance, as in, we've completely lost meaning and boundaries between human and object, or I don't know, between each other, I guess. Like, humans aren't that human anymore. Like, we're really not that human. So yeah, it poses questions of, are we at the end of an era and a start of a new one, you know? Like, you know, when you imagine robots taking over the world, this is it, bruv. Like, this is actually it. There's kids that are being born today that by the time they're, you know, my age, fuck knows what's going to be fucking going on for them, because there's AI and robots right now while they're, you know, where they're being born. Whereas we, or people my age, I'm 25, watch this unravel. There's only hints of it. And even now, it's not really that crazy. AI is fucked. Like, but yeah, it's really bad for mental health. And all these iPad kids, I know it's not the majority, but all the kids that are being born in society today, like, it's dangerous. Like, if you try and imagine like a blue apple, 10 years ago, you would have to draw or paint that to see that, or Photoshop it, whatever. but you could just type it into AI. Like, there's nothing that you have to work for in life. No one wants to, oh my god, I sound like Kim Kardashian now. No one wants to work, but we're being taught to not sustain good mental things, and it's just fucked for our brain. Anyway, where meaning is lost, a new era begins. The oversaturated information and attention economy leaves nothing to the imagination and leaves no space of the human psyche unprofitable. More concerningly, children today are growing and developing pathological behaviours based on these digital advances. And Karl Marx says, in Capital, Marx writes that like zombies, living labour under capitalism becomes subservient to and led by an alien will and an alien intelligence. Like, basically computers are the fucking aliens, because we've handed over half of our fucking brain to it, half of our tasks in life to it. They're going to grow up addicted to their phones. On the phones is all this shit, consumerism, pop culture, capitalism, very driven teachings on morals and values, which is just absolutely fuck all. Brain rotting, celebrity worshipping fucking shit. These kids are not going to have attention spans to learn in school. They're not going to have confidence, decision making, memory, any of this shit, because their brain has just been like burnt out from the age of 3. Like, it's the same thing as taking cocaine instead of going to the gym. Back in the days, like, to learn, you'd have to go to the library, get a book and shit. Nowadays, we could just Google. It's the same mechanism. And nowadays, kids won't have to gradually develop, pathological behaviours, like the things that I mentioned. It's just like when they're 1 year old, before they can even type or write, they can just click a button and things will be presented to them and tasks will be completed. So they're fucked from like the age of fucking 2. The same thing as, instead of going to the gym for like, 6 months and getting your dopamine hits and having, making good dopamine through something that's healthy, you're just going to take cocaine and then you're just fucked. Like, you're happy for what, like 20 minutes, and then you're going to want it again in 20 minutes. Like, we're just taught to be addicted to things that we're taught to fear and desire. But yeah, fucking influencer culture is actually fucked, and it's just so oversaturated, and also it's fake as shit. It's really fake and empty. Obviously everyone's different, and yeah, you could argue that some working class people, they haven't made money before and they should do it, they should get that bag, whatever, but they're just perpetuating into a system that keeps people like them poor and insecure and, not motivated. And I just think the mobile phone is absolutely an alien fucking technology that we are worshipping. Like, we are, I guess back in the day we were taught to fear God and stuff like that. I mean, I do think God is real, just not a Christian God or, tied to any specific religion or subscribe to any place of worship or whatever. But we were taught, fear God, da da da. So then we behave how we think, God would want us to and stuff like that. And then, and then capitalism tells you to fear, fatness or ugliness or having last season's clothes or fucking all that shit. So then we behave accordingly. And throughout all of this, someone at the very, very top is benefiting from mass control and mass influence. And I feel like people say the divide is getting bigger between rich and poor. It is, but it's getting more covert and a bit more sneaky, because now it's like micro influencers or micro celebrities are just perpetuating that same function. They're just another. They do the same mechanism as, all these people that have benefited before in the instances that I mentioned before, but they're doing it so covertly that we are just absolutely like, how do you spot it out nowadays? It's everywhere. And you can't avoid advertisement or marketing or anything like that. Pay per click, like whatever you do on your phone is paying into someone's pocket. And we don't even have to put in a shift. We just think that we're spending our weekends on our phone or our evenings on our phone. Our downtime, our relaxing time, our indulging time is paying into people's pockets. So we are working for these people that are benefiting from data value and pay per click and, the attention economy. I'm trying to think of, I feel like there'll be a lot else for me to discuss on this, but I don't think I've missed out any points. But yeah, I'm just gonna say, to top it off, like, kids are being born into this oversaturated, fucked up world, and this is like their day dot, you know, like this isn't something that developed over time so they can, you know, understand what it is or target it or try and work out, you know, what to avoid and da da da. They are just born into, it's like Wally, like they just don't know any better. Like this is just their reality. And that's fucked. Like fuck that shit. Like, so yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen for the future, but it just feels very dystopian. You know, the more that the majority get addicted to their phones, the less people are gonna want to live IRL. Like fucking hell. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it there because it's been a while. But I think next video I'm gonna talk about the beauty industry and go more into the whole creating a problem to sell a solution mechanism of people in power and, you know, little institutions and industries. But yeah, please leave me some comments down below. Let me know what you want me to talk about next. If you could like just reply to what I'm saying, and then we can get a conversation flowing, because that's when I work best, when something's presented to me. Oh, stop doing the fucking accents. When something's presented to me and I can give back like a conversation, you know, like when I'm prompted. But yeah, fucking love you, mates. And bro, this is like my life passion. Like, I'm very passionate about this. I don't know if you can tell. Also, I'm going to show you my sketchbook that I'm making. It's just a book with all the things that I talk about, but in a very aesthetic fashion. Like a scrapbook, I guess. And it kind of gives context for my artworks. I'm going to upload videos of me making art. Yeah, I'm gonna try and get an exhibition soon. You're all invited, obviously. But yeah, love you guys, and I'll speak to you soon.